What's good, everyone? Welcome back to day 23. Thank you for staying with it, especially after yesterday when we had quite a strong session right the way through to the end. Today, we're going to be introducing a resistant band or TheraBand, just a little bit of light resistance as we work through another full body experience. And the idea is I want to load the muscles up with a little bit more work to help that strengthening progress and to test your stability. So we're going to start off with a warm-up. You won't need the band just yet. Make sure that you've got your space, your safe space, and some water to stay hydrated. And we're going to begin with a seated cat-cow. So taking a nice breath in, rounding the back, drawing the belly button in. You're rolling the shoulders forwards, tucking the chin. And then finding that length through the spine as you exhale, lift through the chest, draw the shoulders back. So you're opening the back of the body as you round the spine, and then opening the abs, chest, and shoulders as you draw the chest up. Let's do 3 more of these. Two more. Use the breath to help create that rhythm. You're trying to find what feels good for you. Find that neutral spine. And then float both arms overhead. We're coming into a side stretch or side bend. So we're going to float the left arm down to the side. Keep the hips anchored as you send the right arm across to the left side. You're trying to draw that upper shoulder back and expand the outside edge. Take a breath in, find length through the spine and change side. I'm going to do a few little switches as we take a breath in, switch again. Each time finding more length through the spine as we switch. And one final time on both sides, change. And last time on the left-hand side, change. And then float both hands overhead as we come into a seated twist. We're going to take one hand on the outside of the thigh as we twist to look over the back shoulder, sending the other hand down behind our buttocks. Inhale, float both arms overhead, and exhale, twist the opposite side. You're looking for that stretch through the mid-spine as we come back to center and twist one more time on each side after this. Float arms overhead and change. Final time on both sides, trying to build up that warmth gradually, that mobility through the spine. Last seated twist. And then coming back to center. Exhale, float the hands down to the ground, roll the shoulders back. And I would like you to cross your legs over and roll down onto your back as we take our feet hip width apart, sliding the heels into the hips, arms down by your side, engaging the core and lifting the hips off of the ground, gently squeezing the back of the thighs and glutes. And inhale, rolling all the way down from top to bottom, crown to tailbone, and then lifting all the way up again. Trying to open the hips here, roll down. Keeping the core engaged is going to help keep the abs nice and tight last time on the way up, and also keep that crunch out of the back, the lower back specifically. And slowly rolling down. When you get to the bottom, tailbone meets, gently draw the thighs into the chest. Some ankle circles here in both directions. And then we're going to just gently rock the hips side to side to decompress the lower back. Side to side, back and forth, whatever feels good to you right now. And then bring the hands behind the thighs, roll up to a seated position. And let's come up onto our feet, rolling up through the spine. Feel free to grab the band. So we're going to take the band into both hands here. And we're going to bring the feet hip width apart, spine nice and tall. We're taking the band in both hands and extending the arms overhead, in front of the chest, parallel to the ground, sorry. Draw the shoulders down so we're not crunching into the neck. So modified Pilates squat here. As you sit back into your squat, the arms come overhead. And then as you stand out of the squat, you bring the arms back chest height. You're pulling the band apart like you're creating space between both hands, and that's creating tension through the upper back. Even as you raise the arms overhead, the shoulders are drawn down and away from the ears, and you're still bringing that tension into that upper back. You're squeezing the shoulder blades together. Imagine that you're trying to pinch a lemon in between the shoulder blades, closing that space. Find a depth that works for you in this squat. And final squat. And rise up. Roll the shoulders back. So we're going to sink deep into our squat. I say deep, whatever works best for you, to be fair. So this is quite good for me. And we're going to take the arms out parallel to the ground. And now we're pulsing, squeezing the back of the shoulders, pinching those shoulder blades. As we pulse, think about drawing the shoulder blades back, but keeping them away from the ears. So you're trying to pull them down towards your tailbone. We're here for 10 more seconds. Let's keep it going. And hold. 3, 2, 1. Float the arms down, stand out of your squat, roll the shoulders back. Beautiful work. Let's take the arms overhead, draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. We're pulling the elbows down towards the rib cage, drawing the band behind our back. Keep the chest up nice and tall, and then press overhead as you're pulling the band apart. So there's always that outwards intention on the band, just to help engage those upper back muscles, the back of the shoulders. So we're squeezing into our lats here, keeping the core engaged, feet grounded. And the effort, that exhale, is as you draw the elbows down, squeezing those lats, keeping that neutral pelvis, nice tall through the spine. Final 10 seconds. Last pull, big squeeze, and extend the arms overhead and then float them back down by your waist. Feel free to shake out the shoulders if you need to, but you don't have too long. We're going to hinge at the hips, find that length through the spine, then hinging forwards at the hips. You're going to take the band underneath one leg, or one foot, should I say, and you're holding on with both hands. So nice and tall through the spine. We're going for some bent over rows, but we're going to offset our position, taking one leg back. So there's a lot of stability work happening through that supporting leg. You want about 20% of your weight on the back foot. And you're driving the elbows back as you squeeze your upper back and then fully extending the arms. Use that breath to create that nice smooth rhythm through your movement. And you're squeezing your upper arms and the shoulder blades as you draw the elbows to the sky. And think about shifting your weight slightly into the balls of your foot, just to help offset that weight a little bit and get the hip muscles working. The knees should be directly over the ankles, or ankle should I say. Last one, drive the elbow back and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend through the arms and then stand up nice and tall. Let's change side. So you're just going to feed the other foot through. Set your core, hinge forward at the hips, and then take one leg back. It's almost like 1.5 steps back. Exhale to squeeze the upper back, drawing the elbows up. Working upper arms. Working your upper back, your core, and all those muscles that are helping to stabilize the hip joint, the knee, and the ankle. And if you don't have a band, that's okay. You're still following the movement, the motion of the movement. And as with the band, same without. The intention is to squeeze the muscles, keep the stability and the core engagement. That connection with your breath. Last pull. We're pausing at the top, squeezing for 5, 4, stay with it, 3, 2, and 1. Extend to the arms. Bring both feet back underneath you as you hinge up. So we're going to bring our, almost forgot what I was doing. Going to bring the hips beneath us. Bring the feet beneath the hips. Hip width stance is what we're looking for. I'm doubling up the band. It gives me a little bit more resistance. You find a resistance that works well for you. It's about a test, seeing what you are capable of doing. So we are going to elevate on the heels. And we're going back to those pull aparts, but we're going to take the arms a little bit higher than shoulders, squeezing into the heels and squeezing into the calves, pulling the band apart, and then back again. We want to keep the tension on the band even as we bring the hands back in. So you're always trying to keep that tension. And gradually, I want you to bend the elbows a little bit more and draw them backwards as we come into this wide row, pulling the band just above mid-chest. So there's a lot going on here, that upper body work, while trying to be nice and stable on the tiptoes, working the calves. Almost lost it there. Working the calves, squeeze the calves a little bit more, lift the heels a little bit more as we finish off for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. 2, 1. Fully extend the arms. Float the heels back down to the ground. Shake out the legs if you need to shake them out. We're coming down into tabletop position. And we're going to take the band underneath one hand and then gently gripping onto the band with the opposite hand. So we've got tricep pumps here. So we want enough tension on the band that we can feel the pull as we extend back, but not so much that you can't get that full extension and you're ripping the band from the other hand. So with straight arms, we're pulling back, pumping the triceps, keeping the core engaged to stay in tabletop. Shoulders above your hand, hips above the knees. See if you can keep the shoulders square as though they're facing the mat evenly, like headlights on your car. Same thing with the hips. 10 seconds. Find a pace that works for you here. Don't need to go crazy like me. 2, 1, and let's change side. Relieve some pressure from the wrist if you need to. My wrists are behaving today, it's not too bad. And let's switch side. Engage the core. Strong shoulders, strong hips, strong core. Draw the elbow, draw the arm back nice and straight. Begin to pump. So even while you're pumping one arm, the other arm is still working to help support your body weight and stabilize your torso. Your palm should be facing back and up to work the back of the arms, the triceps. Ten seconds. 9. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Take the bands to one side and shake out the shoulders, shake out the wrists. So your push-up today, not a Pilates push-up, we don't have to stand. But for this next exercise, with your band, you're gonna place it behind your back and feed it through or under your armpit. The closer you grip to your armpits, the more tension you have on the band. So we're going to take the hands beneath the shoulders and the bands grounded or anchored underneath our palms. Bring the knees in hip width and then bending at the elbows, squeezing them inwards, lower the chest halfway down and then push all the way back up. Try to control on the way down, but as you push up, you keep the shoulders over the hands so you're not pushing backwards. It's straight down and straight up with a strong core and stable spine. And 5 more. 4, squeeze the elbows in. 2, you can do this, stay with it. Keep that control. Last one. Slowly shift your hips back onto your heels for kneeling position. And we're going to take the band underneath our knees, or if you prefer, I'm going to stay on my the tops of my feet for this. You have your feet flexed as well if it suits you, but with the band underneath your knees, I would say mid shin works quite well. We're going to extend the arms forwards for front raise. So draw the shoulders down away from the ears and then extend the arms parallel to the ground. So we're coming up just above shoulder height and then down just below shoulder height. So it's the upper range of the movement. So we're not bringing the arms all the way down to the hip. It's this controlled, pulsing movement that we're working through. You want to keep your spine nice and tall so you're not arching into your lower back. You're looking for tension through the front of the shoulders. Last one, hold. So this is going to be quite a long hold. This is going to burn, but that's okay. Keep the arms parallel to the ground, just above shoulder height, just above. Stay with it. Try to keep the shoulders depressed away from the ears so you're not crunching into the neck. 4, 3, 2, slowly lower the arm down to the ground. Woo! Same principle, but we're coming into a lateral raise. So we're taking the arms out to the side this time. Set up, doesn't change. A soft bend in the elbows so you're not locking them out. I want you to raise the arms out to the side, just above shoulders, and then just below. Controlled pulse. You're looking for tension through the outside edge of the shoulders this time. And I can already feel my arms burning. Chest up nice and tall. Ooh. See, I had to do a little shimmy there. Couldn't live through it. But we're almost there. 2. Pulse and hold right here. So stay with it. Stay with the breath. Nice and tall through the spine. Try to keep the arms still so you're not bending through the elbows too much. And we're here for 5, 4, hold, 3, keep holding, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. Roll the shoulders out. Let's take the bands. We're going to bring them overhead. We're laying on our belly, hips down, forehead rests on the ground to begin with. We're working through back extensions and then some flutter kicks before we finish off with a little bit of abs. So arms overhead. We're always pulling the band apart. Remember that. This is going to help switch on our lats. So the tops of the legs and the hips stay down. Extend through the arms, tucking the chin slightly. Gently pull the band apart and then lift chest off of the ground. Slowly roll down. Lift and squeeze. You're working into your lower back as you lift. And then you're using the abs to roll down with control. Squeeze the tops of the thighs down into the ground and the inner thighs together. Lift the chest as high as you can. For 3, 2. Last one. Lift and lower. Take the band and just place it to one side. You can rest your forehead on your hands. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. We're lifting through both thighs, squeezing through the back of the thighs and the glutes. We're gently going to kick, kick, kick. So gentle flutter kicks. Keep the core engaged. So you feel a slight hollowing sensation through the navel, but the hips are rooted to the ground. We're keeping the thighs off of the floor as we kick. Working through the glutes. And final 10 seconds. Keep the momentum. Keep that squeeze. 3, 2, pause. And then slowly lower down to the ground. Flex the feet. And let's transition through downward dog. Get a beautiful stretch to your lower back. Walk the feet to hands. And then let's bend through the knees as we come onto our buttocks. You can take hold of the resistant band. And we're going to bring the feet hip width apart and ground them. Band in hand. And we're gently extending the arms in front of us. Shoulders coming down from the ears. Pulling the band apart. So we're twisting through the torso for these Russian twists. Let's double up this band a little bit. So we're twisting to one side and then squeezing down. We're just going to work on the left-hand side. So we're sweeping to the side and down, working into our obliques, keeping the spine nice and tall, core engaged, breathing through the movement. Try and keep those feet grounded. But if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can bring one or both legs into tabletop. Find what works for you. But I'm going to keep my feet down. Last one. And we're going to switch over to the other side. Nice and tall through the spine. So you're squeezing into your obliques. So try not to move with the arm or lead with the arm, but feel that twist and then rotation down. You might find that you've got more rotation on one side than you do the other. Last twist, back to center, and you're going to roll down through the spine. So we're taking the arms overhead, pushing away from the chest. Find length through the spine and tuck the chin slightly. And then as you exhale, you're curling up through the spine, drawing your hands to your knees, and then slowly rolling back down. Always keeping that tuck in the chin. So going back to those head nods, finding that length through the back of the neck and openness through the throat. So you should be moving from your abdomen first. So again, you're not leading with the arm. But you are pulling outwards on the band to keep the upper back engaged. Gently pinching those shoulder blades inwards. We're almost there. Final 10 seconds. Curl up a little bit higher. Stay with the breath. And last, curl up to hold. 10, 9, 8. Squeeze the band out. Squeeze the abs in. Lift the chest to the thighs. 2, 1. Slowly roll down. Extend the arms overhead. Release the bands onto the ground. And then stretch the legs along the mat. Deep breath in. Reach the fingertips away from the toes and toes away from the fingertips. And then as you inhale, circle the arms down and around the shins. Draw the thighs into the chest and lift. One final breath in. Release feet down to the ground. Send the arms down by your side, feet hip width. And then taking one final hip bridge, engage the core. Just opening up the hips, lengthening the abs, keeping any crunch sensation out of the lower back. And slowly roll down through the spine. So I invite you to roll over onto your tummy, bringing your forearms beneath your shoulders, resting your forehead on the ground. And taking an exhale, lifting the chest and the head into Sphinx pose. Opening the chest and shoulders, lengthening the abs. Keep the hips and the tops of the legs down. And gently drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Slowly roll down through the spine. If you want to take this stretch a little bit deeper, walk the hands forwards. And then lift chest and head, come into a cobra. Or you can remain in Sphinx. One final breath in, roll down through the spine, rest the forehead on the floor, and as you pull both heels into your buttocks, reach for the tops of your ankle, or just above your ankles, and you're pulling your heels into your buttocks, squeezing your hips into the ground. And release. Flex the feet, hands beneath the shoulders. And let's send the hips up and back through downward dog. Finding length and openness through the lower back and the backs of the legs. And slowly walk the feet to your hands. Bending through the knees. Bring the feet about hip width. Bend through the knees and sit down. You're going to take your feet hip width apart and send the hands behind you, fingertips pointing away. That's going to help to open the chest. Find length through the spine. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slide your hips towards your heels, extending the arms backwards and opening the chest and shoulders. I invite you to tuck the chin, then gently roll the head. Bring in your ear closer to your shoulder. And coming back down, tucking the chin, rolling over to the other side. Do about 2 or 3 of these on each side before bringing your head back to center. And on the inhale, slide the hips back, extend through the legs. And one final stretch, circle the arms overhead. And then as you exhale, hinge forwards into a forward fold. Hands rest on the feet, shin, or the floor, wherever they land naturally is okay. And as you inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the stretch, folding the chest towards the thighs. You're looking for a nice deep stretch through the back of the legs and the lower back. And then releasing the stretch as you inhale to roll up through the spine and finish off. Beautiful work. We'll do this all over again tomorrow for our next challenge. But until then, stay safe and stay blessed. Peace.